two friends reunite, and they're more than friends. They're like, I mean, they're like compadres,
Brothers, man.
best
Brothers.
friends, brothers.
Yes.
Justin Riley and Julian Todd. Welcome.
Hey, man,
Man.
thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to be here. Glad to finally get this opportunity to share more about us than just 25 seconds of that video. So yeah, looking forward to diving in.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
the reason for this episode is this YouTube video on this channel that became viral. Justin Riley is the owner of this YouTube channel legally, and he scored tons of views and new subscribers. And of course, before that, he had a huge following and another domain, TikTok. Justin, tell us about that video and why we're here at this present moment.
Man, that's absolutely amazing story. First of all, let me give you a little bit of a background on it. Julian, when was that? 2000,
That had to be just 20, some 2017 or 18. No, it's 2018.
2000,
2018.
yeah, somewhere around there. But been a while since I got to see Julian, and his wife and my sister decided they were going to be sneaky and arranged a surprise meeting at my sister's house. And
Which is where?
that's at that time it was in Flowood, Mississippi. I didn't really realize that Julian's wife had family over here in Mississippi, so they were coming through to visit some family, and little did I know that they'd be stopping by to see me. So long story short, the meeting happened. Complete surprise, blew my mind. I didn't know what to say. It's like I was in the middle of a dream. Didn't expect him to round the corner. But anyway, we videoed it, and I just jumped on TikTok last year.
What is TikTok, Justin?
What is TikTok? Is the thing that the young kids use to get famous. Just TikTok, great place for short videos. Every end of the spectrum. It's the newest and hottest thing, newest trending thing. Great way to get popular real quick. But I was just trying to figure the TikTok thing out. Put out a couple of videos. No big deal. Then one night before I went to bed in February, decided to throw on that video with some epic music in the background.
Best music ever.
And as you see, we have it streaming right here. Decided to throw this up one night in February before I went to sleep. Nothing really planned. I didn't had no idea. I would even do anything. Wake up the next morning, man. I've got like an insane amount of notifications and alerts, and what have you, man. But and this from this video, it's blowing up, and for several months straight, man, it just kept on getting hits, kept on getting views, and I think we reached around 3 or 4 million views, about a million likes. Can't even tell you the thousands of comments, but it just snowballed, and it went on for a long period of time. I shared it with Julian here, and he was just as blown away as I was, and that's kind of what started the whole thing. And it carried on for several months, like basically into the summer, and then it kind of died off. And then next thing I know, somebody had found it, and they decided to share it on Instagram, and then that
Now,
started the
when it,
process. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when it got shared on Instagram, man, that's the part that really blew me away. Because my daughter actually came to me and she said, "Hey, I saw this video with you in it." First I'm like, "Hey, what did you see?" you know, you know. And so she told me what the video was. I said, "Oh yeah, Justin shared that on on TikTok." She said, "Well, it's on Instagram now, and it's like it's getting a lot of views." And so I went and looked at it, and just like as she said, same thing, same result. We had a lot of comments, a lot of likes, and the thing that really got me is the comments and how it reached out and touched a lot of people because at this time, people needed to see something good, and that's really what that was.
Hmm.
Now let's rewind. Obviously, what it sounds like you guys have been friends for a while. Tell us how you guys met, and let's start from
Oh
there.
man, that's crazy, man. I tell you what, we were in the weight room, right? And so I'm lifting, and so there are like no 45-pound plates. Like I can't find it. So there's this guy over there lifting the world. So I go over there, go over there. Hey man, hey, can I grab a couple of those? Hey man, yeah, no problem. Grab a couple of 45s, working out. He asked me, hey man, can you spot me? I said, hey man, I got you. I'm working out. Hey man, will you spot me? He said, hey, I got you. and it went from there. I mean, it went from there. I mean, who would have known that, just at the YMCA in Birmingham, that
Hmm.
you start something that there's really been a brotherhood, and even during our time of separation, we've kind of been able to help each other stay encouraged during different life events, from a fitness standpoint, from a life standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, just everything that a friend needs to be, everything a brother needs to be. He's been that plus more, and man, it's like it's kind of blossomed from there.
Best friends don't come around too much. I mean,
Uh,
often. Justin, tell us how'd you get to that YMCA? Why you're YMCA? Because you're a bodybuilder, and I'm sure you would like to
well,
go to those 24/7 fitness training facilities
no, that's not real
and
training.
pay $800 a month. But why the
No,
YMCA?
YMCA actually was a blessing, and I didn't really realize it at the time. I just had left a job with Enterprise Rent a Car, and I was in between jobs, and I was just trying to find my way at that time. Just a really tough period in my life, and got a job at the YMCA, full of great people. I continued to work out. Like I said, we met Julian, and this is before he had dreads, so a much younger version of himself. And we kind of started connecting in the weight room. And then next thing I know, which was the most awesome thing about him, was he liked wrestling too.
Oh yeah,
I
What
oh
are
was
the
yeah.
just,
odds?
yeah, we're big wrestling fans. So from that point on, every pay per view, we're getting together, we're texting each other, we're talking about it. But like Julian said, we just shared a lot of life, and we both went through a lot of crazy times. I was at a point in my life several times where I lost everything. I was in and out of bad relationships and just going through utter and complete hell. And but he was there, man. He was inviting me over his apartment. And man, I tell you, we had some great times at his apartments, and it was a really cool thing. It wasn't just on the weekends, it was weeknights where we all would get together and just listen to music and just chill. We share life, we pour life into each other, and
Mhm.
laugh as hard as we could. It's just one of those amazing things, man, and things that we carry on until this day. And and I remember, going through a difficult time with girls and whatnot. One of the most truest things that anyone ever spoke to me in my entire life. This man spoke to me. I was talking to him about, why it was so hard for me to find somebody or to be with someone, or why these things wasn't working out. And he said this. He said, "Your problem is you're looking for the one and everyone." That's probably some of the most powerful words that's ever been spoken to me. And it's true. We get so caught up in trying to find the relationships, trying to find the one. We're put on this timeline by our family, our friends, society, being told how things are supposed to be. And a lot of times, we leave morals and we leave, our values at the door just for the sake of being with someone, and it ends up being into disastrous things. If a God's not in it, it's going to lead to disaster. And I believe the God has spoke through this man right here at that very moment. Of course, through a lot of moments, but man, there've been a lot of awesome times we've shared. And even when I left Birmingham, well, he left Birmingham, he moved to Huntsville. We still were on top of each other, holding each other accountable. Speaking to each other, encouraging each other. And then when I moved out of Alabama, and that's one of the toughest things that I've experienced. Being away from him, as well. Being away from a great support system, and it's so critical. To have that. But just being in touch was so huge, especially through difficult times that I faced these past 5 years. I mean, that's a whole nother story altogether. But having this guy, by my side through all of it, through prayer, through phone call, through text, you name it, you know, it's meant more than anything.
Julian, back to you. How has your connection with Justin Riley been different compared to the millions of people in this world?
I tell you what, man. First thing, man. Everyone knows, the way to my heart and friendship is humor, man. And when I tell you this is literally one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life, like man, like that is no understatement. I remember once we went out with a group of friends, man, and we all went to mug shots in Vestavia in Birmingham. And for the entire meal, he talked in the voice of Medea. which was one of the most hilarious things that I'd ever seen. And I could never forget. I mean, you can't replicate that that kind of humor, man. And it's just been many things, like he said. We kind of going through together, man. I tell him that we always move in seasons. Usually if there's something that I'm going through, he's going through next. So, I can give him advice on that. And the same thing for him, vice versa. He always, gives me advice on how to get through tough situations in my life. One of the best things I love about him, man, is that, there's no judgment. There's nothing I can't call him and say, hey man, hey, this is going on in my life. He's gonna be, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. That's gonna be like, okay, well, hey, that probably wasn't the best decision, but hey, let's see how we're gonna get on from there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it's like I said, that's not found in a lot of people. And kind of piggybacking off what he said, about you looking for the one in everybody. Part of the thing about that is that when you're such a good person, you really expect people to be like that good to you, and
Yeah.
everyone is not like that. You have certain people that are cut from different molds, and they just can't reciprocate. That kind of love, or the kind of the kind of attention that you give to them, whether it's a friendship or whether it's a relationship. And like I said, people miss that, and you have a lot of good people go down a very dark path trying to be loyal or be helpful to someone that's not reciprocating what they're giving, and because they're just that good of a person, they try and try and try because they don't want to feel like they gave up. They don't want to feel like they let this person
It's
down,
true.
and they end up exhausting themselves. But man, I tell you, it's like I said, there are too many times to even remember just about the memory, like the memory we've had in Birmingham, and definitely how we kind of stayed connected because when friends move apart, life happens. Kids, kids happen, and it makes it hard to just be able to pick up the phone and say, hey man, I just want to check on you, make sure you're doing okay. But we made it a point to keep that bond strong. Every couple of days, a week or so I go by, hey man, just checking on you to hear your voice. And if I text you on a Monday but you don't text me back on Tuesday, hey, I know you're good. And that to me, is kind of like a staple in like our friendship, as far as like always having that connection to be able to just reach out and talk about anything at any time.
There are good times and bad. I know that one of the big events that I saw on Facebook, because I follow both of you guys, is Julian's wedding. Tell us that experience. I think you guys did a funny video. Let's go with Justin on that.
Yeah, man. I tried to video as much as I possibly could and try to get as many great pictures. And how to get the pictures, man, goes, we look good.
We look good. We look
We did.
good.
We look good. My boy even had the. Oh, if people hadn't seen this video, you need to go to his page. And this is why this guy was meant to be in my life. He came down the aisle playing Ric Flair's theme song. Had the Ric Flair robe on and had the WWE Championship now around his waist. Yeah, around his waist, and that probably had to be the most epic moment in wedding history. First of all, if
Man, I
anybody
tell
hadn't
you,
seen that, you gotta check that out. Pretty awesome stuff. But
I tell you
yeah,
what, man, that was probably one of my most shining moments. My wife always gives me a hard time. She said, I've never seen a groom outshine a bride at their wedding. I said, hey, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it with flair.
and he did, and it was funny is that some folks are actually speaking negatively about it. I can't believe he did that. I can't, but just being kind of beside themselves on it, and it was just amazing to me when he told me that his wife Emily was. Why would I take that away from him? That's something he loves, and that's who he is. That's a part of him. And that encourages me because that's the way relationships are supposed to be. You're supposed to support others' love, likes and dislikes. So even if it might not seem normal to us, it's normal for him. So why not, put that on the forefront and expose that, which it was awesome. So I'm so glad he
Oh
did it.
yeah. Man, I completely agree, man. That's one of the reasons, me and her got married, because that's one thing we talked about, because it was either going to be Ric Flair or me coming down to Shawn Michaels, and I figured, hey, with kids there, I better go ahead and put the robe on. So
Yeah.
I mean, I applaud her, man. She is definitely my rock and my cornerstone. So it's like to have a partner like that, a wife like that in your corner. no pun intended, really helps make doing life possible. And like she was one of the main reasons that we were able to pull off our video when we met up to meet, because we unfortunately met on sad circumstances. Her dad had passed, and so we had gone down for the funeral. But I said, hey, if we're down here, I have to see my brother. Like I can't come all this way and not see him. And so
Yeah.
she, when she heard that, she kind of took off with it. So man, I love her for that.
Something that when you come to consideration, it's seeing your best friend, which I always hear these words. That's hard. A best friend's hard to come by. Maybe Justin can elaborate that. I know that there's friends, but there's actually that one best friend. Justin, why is it hard to come by? Why is there usually just one best friend?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There, regardless of what Facebook and society tells us and teaches us, you know, we don't have 1,000 best friends. We don't have,
You don't.
you know, 1,000 people out there who are going to have our best interest in the heart, or who are going to actually believe in us and uplift us. And to be honest with you, there are a lot of people who are there just to get something from us.
Hmm.
They're just like leaves on a tree. The wind's going to blow and storms are going to come, and they're going to blow off. They're going to detach from the branch instead of giving life to the branch. They're life takers. And then
Hmm.
you got folks who come in and they're branches. They appear to be something, but they're just there for a season. But then you got folks like Julian who are roots, and not everybody's meant to go through every season of your life. Not everybody's meant to go through every
Very true.
hardship. Not everyone has an unselfish heart. You know, Eh, and that's why you have like a small focus group of people out there who are meant to do life with you. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't be nice to people, you can't go out and have fun and have acquaintances, but you really need that. I guess that core, that solid group of guys, girls for girls, solid group of girls who are just going to invest in them, mentor them, uplift them, hold them accountable, and also you have the tough conversations. And not everybody's meant to do that. And this is a guy that has done all those things, you come hell or high water. And I've done a lot of dumb things. I've done a lot of things that people would have just left me on the side of the road, abandoned, forgotten about me. But this is a guy, like he said, earlier, passes no judgment. Okay, yeah, you messed up, but I'm going to stick with you through this because I know who you are and what your heart is. And not everybody's meant to endure that with you, and today, man, society is so fake. Friendship and realness and brotherhood and sisterhood are just something that aren't really preached anymore. It's more about diversity. It's more about separating each other and promoting that, and it's becoming a thing that just isn't, I guess, it's cherished, if that makes sense.
Julian, we'll go
Man,
with you if you want to elaborate on what Justin said.
no, man, I agree. Like you said, you can have plenty of acquaintances, man. I have a very, very small circle of like what I consider my core friends. Of course, my guys that are that were in my wedding with me. I have other brothers, man, that that I've really grown to walk this season of life with, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. I don't have any biological brothers. I'm the youngest. I have two older sisters, so God blessed me with these guys, man. And like I said, like they'll go to war with me, and I'll do the same thing for them. As anybody I can call at, anytime at night, say, hey man, this is going on, I need your help. And they're gonna say, hey man, I got you.
Yeah.
And that's very few and far between, like with a lot of people.
Let's go back into the social media and technology. Justin, tell us your experience with that. I know this video has become a hit. Tell us your experience with social media, and has there been any other video like this that's come close to what you got it?
Well, this the social media aspect of it has been absolutely mind blowing. It's amazing what can catch the attention of people, and it's not really something that you can plan these days. It happens. You can have the right idea, the right concept, or the right content. It can just take off, and this video has done just that, and on all social media platforms. But when I guess the excitement of it kind of started to die down, we actually got to see each other again this past summer.
Mhm.
And this time I surprised him. His wife
You
told him I
did.
was not going to be in town, and I ended up surprising him. When they went out to eat at a local restaurant, and we filmed it, of course, and then put that back out on TikTok, and it erupted again. Millions of people were seeing it. You had several thousands of likes and comments, and people it's been amazing because, like Julian said earlier, is that this is a time where you're not seeing a lot of positive.
Yeah.
You're not seeing a lot of unity. Our video is against the norm. We live in a division-minded society, and this is the exact opposite of it. So people are begging for this. They're praying to God for something out there that's going to be good and wholesome, and I've got to meet a lot of people across the world, and I've done my very best to respond to every comment, and it's hard because there have been a lot of comments, but people have shared their stories. They've shared their joys, they've shared their hurts, they've shared their devastation. They've had friends that were lost due to death or illness, or family members they're close to that passed away, they were taken away from them, and there's just been this overwhelming outpouring of people's lives. And usually, people aren't so willing to open their hearts and entrust what they went through with people. But yet,
Mhm.
these people are being vulnerable and they're sharing everything with me. Some guy, that's from Birmingham, doesn't know who they are, who has a podcast every week talking about Alabama football, and lifting weights on the weekend and going to competitions, watching wrestling with my buddy here. They don't know who I am, but there was something that God used in that video to reach lives that normally would never be reached. I mean, we got folks in Ireland, Africa, Brazil, England, you name it, reaching out, and that just blows my mind that something that we would think is so small, a friendly video, this has such a deep impact. Social media can be a very powerful thing for the positive. Yes, it can be negative, but these platforms can also be used to promote a lot of good. And that's why I'm thankful for these platforms so that this could be used.
Julian, this 25-second video that went viral, do you think people are liking the humorous part, or do you think they're seeing the value of friendship?
You know what, man? That's the best thing about the video, man. Like when they say a picture gives you 1,000 words, a video is worth a million. And and you can really see from the comments, people, they see the humor in it, man. They see the love in it, and they can tell that both of those are just genuine. Because a lot of people, man, there are a lot of people in this world who really need a hug. like like
Yeah,
they just need a hug. And that the first video when we first met up, man, even the second, man, like that's all real, that's all love. I think sometimes, and they consider it toxic masculinity, when guys are afraid to tell their brothers, hey man, I love you. One thing I heard a while back is that last thing you want to do is like have that person leave this earth and you never say, hey man, I love you, because sometimes people really need to hear that. Like they think no one cares about them, they think they're not worth anything. But if you can show them that they matter to you, maybe you can really uplift someone's spirits. I hate to see where the level of suicide rate has kind of gone up in this country, especially since COVID has started and a lot of people staying at home. So just once again to put out something positive, like to show people like there's no color line, you know what I mean? Like there's only love. Like there are good friends out there, like you can be that good friend to somebody. You don't know somebody needs you till they say, hey, I need you. So just being able to be that shoulder, be that embrace that they need, it really goes a long way. Like I said, these kind of friends are very few and far between. So when you find one like this, hold on to it. And guys out there, if you have a brother that's close to you, man, like let him know you love him, because once again, he really may need to hear that.
you just brought
Justin,
you
yeah, go ahead,
brought up a
Justin.
sorry about that. I mean, you brought up a few really good points. One, and I didn't really realize this until you just said it, was I think it also gave a lot of guys, a lot of men, an okay that it's okay to hug your brother. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to
Oh
say,
yeah.
I love you. And it's crazy that we can't do that because, we're taught as men that it's not okay. But
Yeah.
this kind of gives people a freedom in a sense to be able to live in that way. And
Oh yeah.
and like you said too, is that a lot of people need a hug, and that's one of the most often commented things within all the platforms was, I wish I had that. I need that. I wish I could
Hmm.
have it every day. I wish someone would come love me. I want. I even had someone, several people say, "Can I meet up with you just so I can have a hug?" And I mean, it's kind of funny, but then again, it's kind of like a wow thing. But and
Yeah.
one of the biggest things, Julian mentioned was race, was color, and we all know where we are with that right now. And a lot of people in the comments have made references to race, to color. And here's the big reality between Julian and myself is we've never seen color. It never once, dawned in our minds, oh, he's black, he's white. No, we just saw a brother. That's all
Yeah.
we ever see when we see each other. And that's something that isn't really communicated either. And I've had conversations with people, not just in the comments, but people who've come up to me out of the blue who've seen this and have brought that up. Man, I didn't know your best friend is black. Okay, why is that surprising? Why is that shocking that that my best friend is a black man? And that's kind of where our mindset is because this is what society is trying to put in our heads. Society is still trying to create division. But through
Hmm.
this video, yes, there isn't racism between us. There is no color barrier. There is no he's black, he's white thing. It's just brothers, friends, and people who love each other. And I think that's been one of the biggest points of this video. And I really, if anybody doesn't take anything else away from it, please take that away.
Oh yeah, I agree, man. I think one of the biggest confusion that I get as well is that for like I'm gonna say from like some of my friends, I'm gonna say people who've seen the video talk to me, a lot of some of my black friends, when they hear a white person say, hey, we don't see color, they look at that as a way of not acknowledging that that you're black, and that's not what they mean at all. Like when people say, hey, we don't see color, they genuinely mean, hey, you know what, I see you the same way you see me. Like, now, of course, Justin, I'm black. You're white. Like, like we can see that. You know what I mean? But as far as like just the genuine love. I mean, there's no reason I want to be like, hey, that guy right there, that's my brother. Hey, I'll fight for him. And once again, I don't care. What ethnicity you are. When you have someone that's that close to you. Once again, for me to consider somebody my brother, like my family, like that's a huge step up because once again everyone doesn't get that characteristic in my book. Once again it takes years of dedication, man. It takes you being there during the dark times and me being there for you, and and that means so much to me.
I know that you guys had a part two after this video. Will there be more videos like this?
Man, I tell you what, man, for the sake of us just really enjoying ourselves, man, I hope so. Cause he does a great job, man. He's once again he's a fitness guru, you know what I mean? So he does his power meets, and my hope is to one day, if I can pull off surprising him at a powerlifting meet,
That'd be
that will
epic.
be the that'll be the video to see, man. Because like I remember our weightlifting days back in the day, man. Like we really pushed each other, man. Even when my mind told me I couldn't do it, his mind told me I could, and so since he told me that I could, I had to. You know what I mean? But that also challenged us, and kind of once again created that bond. So you can see more in me than I can see in myself, and I did the same thing for him. So we're really there from a point of encouragement, just to help each other move on.
Speaking about weightlifting, Julian, what's the most you've ever benched?
Oh man, I really have no idea. I've never gotten to 500. I think I want to say I've gotten around 425 to 435. I'm trying to get back there, man. I repped 345 last night, and it felt good. So
There you go.
I'm on my way back up, man. I had a little one about a couple years ago, and it has thrown not me for a whirlwind, but it's definitely taken more time out of the gym than I would like. We also moved in the last year or so, and so there's life going on, but I'm slowly getting my way back in the gym, man. Hey, man, I feel good. Hey, they're coming back, man.
That's what's up. Yes,
They're coming
sir.
back.
Yes,
We got to get them back.
sir.
You're way better than the average
Hey,
person.
just to kind of continue with what he's saying, yeah, I would love to continue to do more videos because if this is what people really want and this is what people really need, I'm all for doing this. In a way, this is a form of ministry,
It
and
really is.
and God is using this, to help so many people out. And as long as people continue to buy into it and just follow it, I definitely want to put that kind of content out, and as much as we can, and if people kind of get tired of us doing the same thing, hey, we're very creative. We can come up with something completely off the wall. One of the things I love to do, is it was crazy to say, as big as the wrestling fans that Julian and I are, we have never been to a live WWE event together.
Now
So
that's a video that you're gonna want to see.
yeah, you
That
definitely
that
want to see, because we can go from our age to 5 in 0.3 seconds, and that's exactly what you'll get if we go to a wrestling event. But yeah, if he ever shows up at my powerlifting meet and surprises me, yeah, we're definitely gonna get that down. It's gonna go as one of the most epic things. And speaking of WWE, it's funny is that one of the most often received comments I've got in these videos is, "Dude, I didn't know Mark Henry was your best friend." And I had to
oh
share that.
man,
It's crazy.
that's the one. That's the one that really makes me laugh, man. People say, "Oh my gosh, dude, you look just like Mark Henry." I'm like, man, that's good. 'Cause I thought I got it small, so my side is still there. That's a good sign.
That's something that I would like to see. Hopefully, I'm not sure if the wrestling events are open to the public, but I'm sure it'll
Uh,
be sooner than later. So
I tell you what, man. When they open up, man, right now I'm eyeing WrestleMania 2022 because it's going to be in AT&T Stadium, aka Jerry's World. Come on, you know I'm a
oh
Cowboys
wow,
fan, man.
yeah,
So, dude, I would love to be there. So, hey, everyone watching this video, if you want to start a GoFundMe and get me and my best friend at AT&T Stadium,
yes,
hey, I am all for it. I am all for it.
that's
yeah.
something to be worth going. Yeah,
Santiago's
It
been to WrestleMania.
I
oh,
have in
really? Which one?
Miami, and it was
Miami.
Miami back in
Wow.
2013 or 12. It was cheap tickets. I think that they were like handing them out back
Was
then.
that the one The Rock was at?
Yes, The Rock was there
Wow,
when he came
that is a
back.
good one to go to.
So,
That's one of the
uh,
few wrestlers I've not seen live, and man,
Yeah.
that's a bucket list type thing.
Oh yeah.
anyways, closing up a little bit, Justin, what platforms are you been using? I know that, of course, YouTube, but have you been still using TikTok?
Not as much anymore. I just kind of felt like a better response and better connection, on YouTube and Instagram. I just feel like TikTok is just uh, I don't know if it's really meant for this or if that's really the right phrase. It's not consistent enough to really build off of. But YouTube has been, and it's been a really great arena, a really great platform. So I continue to put that on there. I mean, I'll put the videos up, whenever we do more reunion videos on TikTok, just because I've got a lot of followers there because of the original one, for people to see. But I'm not putting as quite much of an effort into it as I am the other channels. But yeah, you'll continue to see content on there and Instagram. YouTube's been great because I've been able to build off of this, and then also release some other content about relationship advice, life, humor, absolute nonsense, and impersonations. I don't know if they're good enough to go anywhere, but I guess that's what the viewers are there for. And I'll share some of my clips from my show on there occasionally too. But yeah, putting a lot of concentration on YouTube right now.
Well, that's
Julian,
good.
how about yourself for
Man,
social media? Where
I will
are
honestly
you visible most?
I will honestly say, man, Instagram, definitely Facebook. I am on TikTok, man. Once again, I have to get the urge to post a video on there, man, just to, get going. But let me say this. He's very modest, so I'll be cocky for him. If you've never seen Justin Riley do Macho Man, you are missing a show. You are missing a show. I'm waiting on the Macho Man video. We had one for my wedding actually, and that may be coming soon. So I hope everyone
It's
stays
actually
tuned for
on
that.
there. It's on my channel along with a couple other Macho Man
Awesome.
videos. So yeah, definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm on Facebook as well, so I definitely use that platform mainly to promote stuff like this, and then also to promote my podcast. But other than that, try to stay off of it just because I don't get caught up in all the negative.
Yeah.
And of course, what are your social media channels? Let's start with Justin. Where they can find you on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah, YouTube, Justin Riley 7. That's the same as my email address. Twitter, Justin Riley 7, and then Instagram, Justin Riley _7, and Facebook, Justin Riley. Uh, if you see a bunch of Alabama related content, chances are you have found me, or fitness related. But you also see a lot of my promotions for my show every Tuesday night. So yeah, check me out. We'd love to continue on past this and continue to meet folks, continue to share stories. So yeah, those are the best places you can reach me for all of that.
Julian, how about your social media channels? How can
Oh
people reach
man,
you there?
very easy to find me, man. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok is Mr. DYDC. That's Mr. capital DYDC. And on Facebook is Julian Todd. So once again, I'm just like Justin. If you see fitness posts, you see Alabama posts, Cowboys, I'm a Lakers fan. Of course, I love my Yankees, man. So, I'm there on all of those.
And why is your username Mr. NYDC? Is there a specific reason?
DYDC.
Yeah, DYDC, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
man, that kind of ties into what we're talking about, man. It's really our brotherhood, man. Once again, goes back to being a wrestling fan. If you remember Shawn Michaels, Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Scott Hall, Triple H, you had the click, and so we kind of formed that, because everyone always wants to know, man. What does DYDC stand for? And of course, we never tell anybody.
Nope.
But like it's a brotherhood, man. Like it's a group of friends, man. We've been together for a while, and it's all about the click. So
That's
you
it.
can't forgive that.
And what is your favorite wrestler of all time? Start with Justin.
Man, yeah, it's really hard to break it down to just one. If you broke it down to era, it's a lot easier. But the guy who got me into wrestling was Hulk Hogan. He's always been my number one, my go-to, and along with The Rock, it's Shawn Michaels, and the list can go on and on. But yeah, I mean, if I had to give a top five, I mean, I could do that a lot easier. But if I was pressed, to say the greatest of all time in my book, it'd be Hulk Hogan.
Julian.
Hey man, I agree with that, man. Hulk Hogan. When I was little, man, I couldn't go to sleep unless I had my action figure of Hulk Hogan, man. Like my parents would tell you, man, I had an action figure of Hulk Hogan. It's a little clay when he had his arm stuck like this, man.
Yeah.
I literally still have it, man. But if I had to pick my favorite wrestler of all time, it would definitely be Shawn Michaels. Like I could literally meet any other wrestler and be fine. If I ever met Shawn Michaels, I just might cry. I'm just just gonna throw that out there, man. But I told Justin a long time ago. I think I posted it on Facebook a while ago because a lot of people look at wrestling as sheer entertainment in what it is, but in the characters that these guys portray, I learned a lot from them because I learned once again my confidence from Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels used to walk down to the ring with a lady holding a mirror behind him. I learned
Yeah.
my toughness from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hey, don't tough anybody and be the toughest SOB there. And I learned how to talk from The Rock because just being able to speak well
Yes.
gives you confidence, man. So to be able to walk through and portray those characters in real life, man, and let each part of them kind of speak for you, or speak through you, man, like that's gone a long way. And I still walk like Stone Cold Steve Austin to this day. So
Truth.
don't try me.
Interesting thing with that, one of the moments, of course, I realized this guy was going to be my best friend for life. I remember walking into his apartment one day. I go back to his room, and his closet door was open. I looked in there. Every WWE Championship belt was on the shelves. And I was like, "Yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy I'm going to walk through life with."
That's something, wow, very remarkable, very encouraging. I could definitely see you guys doing like a show and maybe interviewing people they just reunited, best friends that live far apart or something, and they come together at a certain point and talk about friendship, relationships, nothing too difficult, very simple.
No, man,
But
I agree. That'll be nice.
But
Yeah.
of course, Justin has a sports show on Tuesday. Justin, before you go, tell
Yeah.
us about the Riley and Constant show and what's going to happen this Tuesday.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh man, nothing but nonsense. That's for those of you who aren't familiar with my show. I've been blessed to have a great show with former Alabama linebacker who was all SEC in linebacker and overcame one of the most devastating things that could ever happen to a sports player career. Marvin Constant, great man who had a great story. Met him through the Sportscast. We went through a 6 month period of interviewing a different Alabama player every Tuesday night. It was pretty wild, but we formed a show off of that, and then right after we got started, we brought in comedy legend Steve Brown. If you don't know who he is, you need to go watch some classic BET Comic View
He is
episodes.
hilarious. He is hilarious.
But it's the three of us, recapping Alabama football, Alabama sports, college football, but and also bringing in legends every week from the NFL who played at Alabama and who were great in college, but also guys who have great stories. You know, and it's not like any other sports show where it's just serious and it's an interview and going down each little step of the career. No, man, it's like a bunch of guys just kicking it, having a good time. Our show, I tell everybody this: 90% nonsense, 10% actual sports analysis, and it works. Yeah, this week we're going to have a couple other Alabama legends from my day there. Kenny King, defensive lineman from the '99 SEC championship, along with offensive lineman Atlas Harrion. They both played in the NFL for a long period of time. They actually are now back in Daphne, Alabama, coaching high school football at their alma mater. So that's where they are. And then the week following, we're going to have one of the most dynamic returners and wide receivers in Alabama history, Chris John Jones.
Oh
He'll be
yeah.
there. And if you're not familiar with his career, you definitely need to familiarize yourself with him, along with this character he's created that puts on Instagram and YouTube called Coach Jones. It's one of the most hilarious things you've ever witnessed, and I'm gonna put a few clips of that when it's time to promote him. But that's a little bit what you'll expect from us. And now that the NFL season is over, well, over for a lot of them, a lot of the players, we're gonna have a lot of current Alabama alumni who are NFL players come on and share their life with us too. And we've had some great stories come through there, like Tyrone Prothrow's story. And if you haven't had a chance, go back and watch that episode. This is a guy that really should have turned against the world, turned against God, turned against everybody, but used his experience as a form of ministry to reach out to people and to help others. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, I probably said a little bit more than I should, but I'm really passionate about what I do. But yeah, check it out. It's on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern, and for those of us in the South, that's 6 p.m. Central. If you can't tell time,
And you
and
can check the,
you'll find
yeah.
us on the Sportscast dot. Sorry, at the Sportscast 1 on Twitter. We're also on YouTube, the Sportscast. If anyone needs any links to watch anything, please do. We also take callers, so feel free to call in and let your voice and questions be heard.
Exactly. And of course, I run the sportscast.net. So definitely check us out. Wow, what an episode. Very touching, about best friends, relationships. It's so important, and things now with this world, with technology, you're able to connect. Julian, any closing words before we head out?
Oh yeah, man, I do, man. First of all, man, I want to thank both of y'all for taking the time out to do this. I hope this once again reaches just as many people as our original video did.
Yeah.
I think that you both are doing an excellent job with Sportcast, man. I love it. The Tyrone Proto honestly was probably one of my favorite episodes. I really kind of connected with him when he talked about his injuries and how debilitating it was, not just from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint, and how hard it was to bounce back. And so I encourage a lot of the athletes out there, when you get injured, hey, keep your head on your shoulders, keep going for your goal, and you too can achieve greatness. Also, I was very serious about that. Hey, all the listeners out there, go fund us, get us to WrestleMania in Dallas. I want to go. I would love to go to Jerry's World. Let's make it happen.
Justin Riley, closing words.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you, Santiago, for producing this show and bringing us together for this. It's a long time coming. I really enjoyed this opportunity because we don't get a chance to see each other that often, due to circumstances and resources and whatnot. And of course, with the pandemic going on, it really
Yeah,
prevents a lot. And it's just a blessing. And I was really looking forward to this opportunity to piggyback off of that little bit of 25-second video that we had so people could know more about us and our story and our hearts because you really can't see all that in a viral video. And I think a lot of people miss that. Everybody's about the instant gratification, what's trending, what's popular, and really don't know the heart behind some of the things we see out there. And this really gave our people the opportunity to see the heart behind us and what that video meant. And it wasn't some staged event. It wasn't something just to get attention or likes or because it's trending. When it grabs attention, it's something that's real. And if you watch this tonight or watch the replay, you're gonna find out there's some genuine dudes that love each other, and they're gonna tell each other that every day. And every time we see each other, we're gonna have that exact same reaction.
Every time.
I'm short, so I can't have him jump on me. But that's what you're gonna see. It's real. It's genuine, and it's okay to be that way. And fellas, you need to understand it's okay. It's okay to be that way. And ladies, y'all already do that, so y'all are ahead of us in that department. So, but fellas, it's okay to love each other. So it's and you are. I think you're more masculine if you can look your brother in the eye and say, "Hey, man, I love you."
Oh yeah.
Rather than the half hugs, go for the full hugs. Don't
Yes.
be
Oh
shy.
yeah.
Not those half church hugs you used to get.
Yeah.
God
Anyways,
bless you.
what an episode.
God
Yes, he
bless. God
did.
bless.
Yeah.
What an encouragement. And hopefully we'll see more of this content in the future.
Oh
Give
yeah.
some
Most
hope for
definitely.
this world. And
Well,
of course, it's
my
great.
hope is that I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. My
No,
hope
no,
is
go
that
ahead.
we have such a great response from this that it can lead to us doing a show, and
Exactly.
and
And
doing more.
one more time, what is how can they find you on YouTube?
Justin Riley 7.
Justin
That's
Riley
where I'm
7.
at,
And
and
definitely
definitely
go
like and
and
subscribe.
subscribe, like, share to your friends, and you can reach me at Sleon Sleon on Twitter and on Instagram, and check out sleonproductions.com for my latest work, and of course the sportscast.net, another big a big arm of the Sleon Productions, going big and strong. But it's been great, very touching night, made my day. It feels like I was going to
Hey man,
church.
mine
So
too.
Mine too, man. I look forward to that this whole week. Besides the national championship game and winning that,
Roll
and then
Tide.
you roll tide. I got to bring that up again. Number 18.
one of the best teams ever.
And by the grace of God, winning my division yesterday in my competition, and overcoming what was a really difficult training cycle. But this is what I've been looking forward to the entire week, and what a great way to wrap everything up.
What a great night. Well, anyways, Julian, thank you so much. Justin Riley, thanks so much. Let's
Yeah,
be
thank
Hey
you.
man,
friends
thank
and
y'all.
let's rock and roll